Mishnah Bet. That was an introduction, Mishnah Bet. Bi'ur Mishnah Bet. Keitzad shave androgynous לאנשים. How this androgynous is equal to males. Where's the similarities between him and males? So the first things, metame beloven ke'anashim. He becomes impure in white. Just like a male, when a male becomes impure with white coming out of him, so does an androgynous. כשזב ממנו נוזל לבן, when he comes out of him a white liquid, כמי בצק של שעורים, it looks like some liquid of barley, וכלובן ביצה מוזרת, and like the white of an egg, היינו ביצה שאין האפרוח מתרקם בה בשעת הדגירה, like an egg that there's no chick inside, הרי הוא נעשה זב. At that moment he becomes the zav. He has the dinim of a zav. We're not going to talk about zavs right now, but the dins of the zav apply to him. אבל אישה אינה נעשת זבה בלובן. But if a woman have a white emission, she doesn't become impure. So he becomes impure with white, so he's like man. Another problem with him is he's going to have a problem both sides now. There's לא ילבש גבר שמלת אישה, that a man is not allowed to dress like a woman and a woman is not allowed to dress like a man. What is he supposed to do? If he's suffix over here, he's not allowed to dress not like this and not like that. So over here we cannot say he's a third kind. He has to live in the world somewhere. Where are you going to put him?
Like in Torah, what is strong with, no? It doesn't go here like this?
Oh, no. It's not going to go by the look. No.
Maybe not by the look, by what is stronger parts. Or
no.
They're both strong.
Yeah, no, we're not going to go. But no? What's stronger? No. Today, practically what they do is it's easy because he chooses one thing, he or she chooses one thing, and they give him hormones. So he will look like a male or a female.
And what they do, they eliminate the other parts.
Usually,
if they don't eliminate
sometimes they don't eliminate it.
Still can come in white from there.
Yeah, sometimes they don't eliminate, but at least by look, it will look the way he will choose, either a man or a woman by look.
Oh, yeah.
So, but in our case, in the case of the Gemara, he says we need to. Where is he going to dress like? He's going to dress like a man or like a woman. So it says umit'atef ke'anashim. He's going to get dressed like a male. Since whichever way he's going to go, there's a problem with it. But we're going to consider him a male for dressing. The question was, how is it similar to men? Is it similar to men that he gets to be dressed like a man? He's not allowed to wear a skirt. Umit'atef ka'anashim, he needs to dress like a man. Shelo yilbash simlat isha. He's not allowed to wear a woman's garment. Ve'noseh, he's allowed to get married. In other words, he's allowed to marry a woman. He's allowed to marry a woman. Ve'noseh, aval lo nisa ka'anashim. But a male cannot get married to him. In other words, when it comes to marriage, we're going to consider him a male.
A man.
So he's allowed to get married. Of course, it's not a marriage from the Torah, because it's a doubt. So which means, let's say, he has a wedding. He says, "Harei at mekudeshet li." This person says, "Harei at mekudeshet li" to a woman. And then comes another man. And he also says to her, "Harei at mekudeshet li." Also, she's married to the second guy. Because the second guy is married from the Torah. And this is a suffix. This is a doubt if he's married to him. No, say in case.
Oh.
To show that the first marriage, even though it is a marriage, he's allowed to get married, but it doesn't hold the same strength as a real marriage. Because I cannot go to somebody else's wife and say, "Arayat mekudeshet li," it doesn't catch. But with him, if he's married to somebody, any other male can go up to her and tell her, "Arayat mekudeshet li," and then she will be married to the second guy. Okay? Ve'noseh aval lo nisa ka'anashim. So he's allowed to get married, but nobody is allowed to marry him. No male is allowed to marry him. Noseh isha ve'eino nisa le'ish. He's allowed to get married to a woman, but he's not allowed to get married to a man. Mipnei shu kezachar. We're going to consider him, when it comes to marriage, to be a male. והבא עליו Tino dino keba'al hazachar. And anybody who sleeps with him, who have a relationship with him, it's considered to be like sleeping with a man. You know, even though he has both parts, it's still considered to be sleeping with men, because it's considered to be, when it comes to marriage, it comes to relationship, we're going to consider him a male in all parts.
Why they consider him as a male? Or
because male is more stringent than women, right? So he can either take the stringency of male over female. Male has more stringencies, so we're going to put all the stringencies of male also on him. Yeah, all the stringencies of male. And now we're going to have another things. We're not going to go deep into this, because we're going to get into it later on when we're going to learn the Mishnayos. But ve'imo yoshevet alav bedam tohar ke'anashim, his mother is going to sit on him in a pure blood like he was a male. Where is that? Shekatuv b'Torah, it's written in the Torah, Isha ki tazriya ve'yalda zachar, it says a woman, if she doesn't give birth and she gave birth to a male, ve'tam'a shiv'a yamim, she's going to be impure for 7 days for a male, ve'shloshim yom ve'shloshet yamim teshev b'dmei tahara, and then 33 days the blood that comes out is called a pure blood, called dmei tahara, it's called pure blood. Ve'im nekeva teled, but if she gives birth to a female, v'tim'a shvu'aim, then she's going to be impure for the first 2 weeks, not for the first week. Ve'shishim yom ve'sheshet yamim teshev b'dmei tahara, and then 66 days after that she's going to sit in the blood of impurity. Ve'dino shel androgynous kezachar, and the law of androgynous kezachar. So we've got two things. We've got the 1 week or the 2 weeks, and then we've got the 33 days and the 66 days. So we're going to be strict on both. So in some things we're going to be strict, like for the males, like the Dmei Tahara, she's going to be like a male, but for the other 66 days we're going to consider him a female. So we're going to put both stringencies on him, if you're going to see.
But the time is going to be 2 weeks or 66 days.
So
it's not going to be the 7 days and then the 33.
So we're going to put both.
And then another?
No. It's going to be combined. We're going to put both stringencies of a male and a female, as you're going to see soon.
Oh.
But the stringency for the Dmei Tahara, the 7 or the 14, we're going to be machmir. We're going to be stringent like a male. And when it comes to the 33 and the 66, we're going to be stringent like the female. We're going to see in the next Mishnah. Okay? Sheimo yoshevet lav ad 40 yom. V'dino shel androgynous kezachar, and what we do with androgynous is you're going to take both stringencies. You're going to sit. When it comes to Dmei Tahara, you're going to take the stringency of the 1 week, and then when it comes to the 33 days or 66 days, you're going to take the stringency of the 66 days. So both things.
But why don't you take the stringency of 2 weeks? Why you take only 1 week?
No, it's Dmei Tahara.
Dmei Tahara?
Dmei Tahara means we consider it pure, which means that afterwards it's only impure.
It has to be also la chumra, no?
Yeah, the Dmei Tahara itself is the male is the chumra. On the in the 1 week or the 2 weeks, the male is the chumra. Yeah.
Okay.
שאימו יושבת עליו עד 40 יום לאחר ימי טומאתה הראשונה. She sits 40 more days after the days of impurity. בדמי טהרה. כלומר שהאדם היוצא ממנה בימים אלה הוא אדם טהור. In other words, we consider that blood pure blood. So we're going to take the stringencies of the male, we're going to consider it like that. ואילו אחרי 40 יום ללילתו דמה טמא. After 40 days we're going to consider it impure. And now he's going to have a problem. Even though he's allowed to marry a woman, we allowed him to marry a woman, we have a problem. He's still going to have a problem. What's the problem? Yichud is not allowed to be together with women. So we're going to allow him to marry one, yeah, but he's not allowed to hang around women all the time. That's how he's like a male. We're going to see it's going to be a problem, because in the next Mishnah we're not going to allow him to hang out with the men either. But over here we're gonna show you how he's like a man. ואינו מתייחד עם אנשים כאנשים. And when it comes to laws of yichud, by the way, all the laws that has to do with relationships, he's like both man and a woman. We're going to take both stringencies. So the poor guy, he's like in a limbo. It's all life. It's all life, yeah. ואינו מתייחד עם אנשים כאנשים. And he cannot become one with the females like men. אסור לו להתייחד עם אישה כדין זכר. He's not allowed to be the dins of to come together with a woman just like alone with a woman just like a male cannot. Oh, another thing, ואינו ניזון עם הבנות כאנשים. And he is not going to become sustained with the girls like males. Let's explain this before we even start. When a father passes away, and he's got small children, both the father and the mother, pretty much the kids become orphans, yeah? The question is, the girls get nothing. All the inheritance goes to the boys. Right. We know that. The girls get nothing, except we're going to take the estate of the boys and we're going to feed the girls from the estate of the boys. In other words, until they get married, so let's say the father passes away and he's got 5 cows. The 5 cows belong to the men, but we're going to sell the milk of the 5 cows, and it will never belong to the females, but the milk that comes, or the wool that comes after the sheep, we're going to give to the females until they get married. And once they get married, we give back the cow and the wool.
They cannot work the field and do all this, the men can do it. So.
That's right. And now it's going to also depend. There are some times when there's a lot of money in the estate, sometimes there's a little money in the estate. So when there's a lot of money in the estate and there's a little money in the estate, we go different. For example, when there's little money in the estate, he's going to explain over here. ואינו ניזון עם הבנות כאנשים. We're not going to feed him with the girls like the men. In other words, the girls are, when he's going to come, let's say there's got a boy and a girl and him, he's going to say, give me the milk so I can sustain myself. I'm a girl, so I can sustain myself. So the girls are going to say, no, you're not a fully girl, go with the male. Go get the inheritance. Give me the field. And the guy's going to say, you're not going to get the field because you're not a male. So he's stuck right in between, right there. He doesn't get this part, he doesn't get this part, he's completely finished. שכן שנו, because we says, מי שמת והניח בנים ובנות, somebody that passed away and he left both boys and girls. Of course, if he's the only child, he gets everything. There's no problem at all. He inherits. Okay. Yeah, if he's an only child. The problem comes when he's not an only child. מי שמת והניח בנים ובנות, somebody who passes away and he leaves both males and females. So there's going to be 2 rules how we're going to deal with this fact. At the time that there's lots of money, and at the times that's little money. And the reason why there's a difference, because we want to make sure that the girls are protected. And you're going to see, we're going to give the girls protection over here, but he's not going to get any of the protection. That's a poor guy. בזמן שהנכסים מרובים, at the time that there's a lot of money, שיש בהם כדי מזון הבנות וירושה לבנים, which means the guy left 500 cows behind. So 500 cows, no problem. The men have the cows, the women have the sheep, have the milk from the cows, and so you give the women the milk from the cows, they have enough to sustain themselves until they get married. And if the kids, if some of the kids are getting hungry, the kids don't have anything to eat, so we put in apotropos, somebody responsible for them. He's going to shecht a couple of cows for the kids. So you need to eat, here we're going to shecht a couple of cows. Both have plenty, there's no danger.
But I was thinking here he's talking about cash, no? He's not talking about cash. What if the guy has $1 million in the bank?
Same thing.
Where it goes to the boys?
Everything goes to the boys. The $1 million in the bank belongs to the boys. The interest that goes from the $1 million in the bank, we're going to feed the girls until they get married. In other words, the girls don't have the right to touch the business or to touch the interest or to touch they can live off whatever the things are making.
The flow, the cash flow.
The cash flow, that's right.
That coming in and okay.
But they cannot touch the keren. The keren belongs to the male. Until the women get married, we give them. That's in a case where there's a lot of nechasim. What happens if the guy passes away and he's got almost nothing? Now we're going to have a problem. So let's see. Habanim irshu v'habanot yazonu. So the male are going to get the keren, yeah, and the banot yazonu shekachu tnai beit din. This is what the way the court set it up. The way. Hanechasim muatim. What happens if there's not enough? In other words, there's only one chicken, and he wants to eat. If you're giving the eggs to the girls, he says, "What do you mean? My chicken, I want to eat it." And they're screaming, the girls, "If he eats our chicken, we don't have eggs." So what do you do in that case? Who has the power? Does the kid have the power? Does the boy have the power? Or does the girl have the power? So let's see what we do. Hanuchasim muatim. If they got a little bit of nechasim, she'en bahem ela kedei mazon habanot bilvad, we only have to sustain the girls in it. Habanot yazonu. So what do? We feed the girls. We feed the girls. Why? Because we don't want we can have a choice. Let them both go and beg. But a woman go around and begging is asking for trouble. A male, go ahead. It's not the end of the world. You know, habanim yezonu, the banot yezonu. You feed the girls. V'habanim yishalu al haptachim. And the sons, you're going to tell them, go and beg. And once you get to 18, or once you get to 14, 13, 12, you can walk the field. You'll be able to walk the field. Now they can't walk the field. They're too young. They're 2-year-olds. What are they going to do with the field?
But that's how they protect the woman.
That's how they protect the woman.
To be able to sustain.
So in both cases, this guy is going to get stuck.
Okay.
In both cases, we're going to kick him to the other side. In the case of this one, we're going to kick to the other side. And in the case of this one, we're going to kick him to the other side. Uba Mishnatenu lelamed, and both our Mishnah comes to teach, שאם הנכסים מועטים ויש ביניהם Androgynous, that if they have just a few property, and one of the sons is an Androgynous, אינו ניזון עם הבנות מהנכסים המוטעים. He doesn't become sustained with the girls from the little food that there exists. שכן הבנות דוחות אותו אצל הבנים. It says, you go and inherit it. We can inherit the field. You go inherit the field.
You're a man, go.
Yeah,
go
exactly. שאינם נוטלים כלום מנכסי הירושה. Because we don't get anything from the inheritance. You go. שם נשנתה הלכה זו לעניין טומטום. Over there it is actually talks about a tumtum. But it's the same din Androgynous. The difference between a tumtum and Androgynous is Androgynous, we know he has the parts of a male or a female. Or both. He has both. We can see male and female. A tumtum, he's got parts, but we look at him, we're not sure what it is. Either it's inside. In the old time, it used to be inside. So today there's more to say. But even today, there are times that you can look at the thing and you're not sure what it is. I don't know. That doesn't look like a male, doesn't look like a female. So that's a tumtum. But a tumtum and Androgynous for our thing, it's exactly the same thing. And again, how more is he like a man? He's more like a man ve'over al bal takif. And he's not allowed to shave the sides of the hair over here. לא תקיפו פרט ראשכם. הוא בל תשחית, לא תשחית בעצמך. In other words, if he has a beard, he's not allowed to shave it off like a woman does. And if he's a Kohen,
wow.
Okay, he's a Kohen. הוא בל תטמא למתים. He cannot go to cannot say, for example, Mendel cannot go to a cemetery, but Rivka and Chaya don't have a problem to going to a cemetery. So he cannot say, I'm a female, I can go to a cemetery. No.
He considered as a male by the here.
Only for those things. You're going to see soon. Only for those things, yeah. ובל תטמא למתים, כמו שנאמר בכהן, לנפש לא יטמא בעמיו. To a soul is not allowed to become impure in his nation, ואם Androgynous הוא כהן, הרי הוא מוזר על כך. So if the Androgynous is a Kohen, he has to do everything that a Kohen does. כאנשים, like men, שכן אישה אינה חייבת בכל אלו, because like we mentioned, the woman doesn't have all these laws. וחייב בכל המצוות האמורות בתורה כנשים. He has to put on tefillin, he has to mitzvah of Talmud Torah, he has the mitzvah of prurvu.
Mila, no?
He has the mitzvah, of course, Mila, all the mitzvahs. So he's really consider him like a male in all those mitzvahs that we discussed now. אפילו במצוות עשה שהזמן גרמה, even in the commandments that has to do with time, that females are not obligated in, we're going to say that he is obligated in all these things.
So he's a male here.
According to all these things we discussed here,
He's a male.
he's a male.